So this is what I do to support my van life travels. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Van Life Mama. So today I thought I would just make a quick video for you guys because I get this question a lot of how do I afford to go out of town so much, especially going on these extended road trips. So the long and short of it is I work. One major part of that, though, is I have a very, very supportive husband who works very hard to support our family, and I appreciate that every day, which does help in me being able to travel and do this channel. And he's supportive of me traveling and doing these videos, which I can't even tell how much I appreciate. But I also do work to fund my travels. So in our household, for our budget to be balanced for our house, I need to bring in a certain amount of money every 2 weeks. So when I plan on going out of town, I just have to make sure that I save enough money so that there's no gap in that income for the weeks that I'm gone. So like this trip coming up, I'm going to be gone for a month. So that'll be 2 of my paychecks. So I need to save up enough money that I can still have those 2 paychecks go into our account. So I'm not traditionally employed. I did work in the healthcare field for almost 10 years. And then some life stuff happened and I had to leave my job and find something that was a little bit more flexible and allowed me to stay at home when I needed to be, and I can make my own schedule. So honestly, right now, what I do for work is I do deliveries. I do skip the dishes. I don't know if you guys have that in the States, but that's here in Canada. So skip the dishes, I do Uber Eats, and I do Instacart. I'm actually on shift right now waiting for deliveries, and I thought I would just bring you guys along on a day of what I do for work to pay for all of my adventures. So what I like about doing deliveries is the flexibility. I can work whenever I want, however much I want, and you can actually make a decent amount of money for it. I see this a lot in van life groups of people asking about others who do Instacart while being in their van. Like, as you can see, I'm in my minivan right now. I do my deliveries in my minivan. I have commercial insurance on my minivan, so I do recommend if you are going to be using your van to do deliveries that you get commercial insurance so that you don't get penalized if you ever get in an accident while doing deliveries. But you can actually make a decent amount of money doing Instacart, like doing Instacart and deliveries, but mainly Instacart. Like if I hustle within a week, it's not unlikely for me to make between $1,200 to $1,400 in a week if I hustled. Usually I try to stick around the $100 to $150 a day mark that I'm working, and that's after gas expenses. So say I'm spending $20 on gas one day and I want to make $150, then I need to make $170. And doing this has allowed me to pursue this van travel lifestyle and to pursue this YouTube channel for you guys. So I'll show you what a day entails of me going on my deliveries. Right now I am sitting in kind of a central downtown area at my local mall waiting for deliveries. This is what it looks like right now. Not a bad view from my office. So I'll bring you guys along with me and I'll show you how much I make for the day. You guys kind of what it looks like on my phone. This is where I have the apps for the jobs that I do. This is my shopper app for Instacart. And as you can see, I'm waiting for batches to come in, and it shows what stores I'm around here. And this is where I can track my earnings. And then I always do both at the same time. I kind of double dip. So this is my Skip the Dishes app. These are my shifts this week that I picked up. And it's matching me to orders right now. So what I'll do is I'll just wait and see whichever one pops up first for a job. And the good thing about Skip the Dishes and Instacart and Uber Eats is you can see the job before you accept it. So it's not something you want to do, or if it's too far, or if it's a place you don't want to go, or if it's not paid enough, you don't have to accept it. You can just decline it. So now I'm just going to wait for a job, and I'll show you guys that when it comes. Okay, so I just got a batch with Instacart. It's a shop for H&M, which is usually pretty easy. It's currently 11:01. The shop, it pays $18, so let's see how long it takes me to do it. So I'm in H&M now, and the shop is for little kids clothes, which is fun because I never get to shop in the little kids section anymore. Okay, so I'm done shopping. It's 11:30 now, so it took me about half an hour. That's a lot longer than it would usually take me, just because everything the customer wanted was out of stock. And I really strive to get my customers the best replacements possible for their items. So I do a lot of communication with the customers, sending them pictures of alternatives that are available, so it takes a little longer. But I don't mind if it takes a little longer if the customer is happy. So now we're going to go deliver.
Where does that play rank in your history? Well, it's up there for sure. I mean, I think one of the things that was so iconic at the time to get us past the Cowboys.
Okay, so I just delivered it to the customer. It's 11:42, so 42 minutes. I got paid $18. Not bad. I find that when I'm working, I usually make between $20 to $25 an hour, which I think is pretty good. So now we just wait for the next batch. Okay, so I just finished doing a delivery, and now I'm just had to change the scenery. I wanted to get a new view for my office, so this is what I'm looking at now. Still not a bad view. So I'm going to show you guys right here in this video. This is why you do good customer service and you take a little bit more time to find good replacements for your customers. This shop went from being an $18 job to a $35 job because he gave me a $15 tip for taking the time to find replacements for him. This is why I always take the time to get my customers what they want. Okay, so I just finished the delivery and I am heading home for lunch. But I just drove by this house. Look at the artwork on this house in my city. One of the reasons I love doing Instacart is driving around, you never know what you're going to see. Okay, now I'm going to head home for lunch. Okay, so I'm back home for lunch. My next shift with Skip the Dishes doesn't start until 2:30, so I get to chill at home for a bit. So I worked this morning for about 2.5 hours. I got kind of a late start because here in Ontario we are back to virtual learning, and Austin's still finishing up high school. He's in grade 12, so he needs some help with some virtual classwork. But that's okay because I work for myself and I can start whenever I want. So now I'm just going to chill, but I need to show you guys something. I actually won something cool last night. So there's this local guy who does these raffles for snow machines that he's trying to sell, used snow machines. And it's a genius way to sell something used because he sells 100 spots for $35, and then he picks a number, and whoever spot corresponds with that number, you win the snow machine. So the person getting the snow machine gets it for $35, and he's guaranteed $3,500 for these sleds that are probably worth around $1,500 to $2,000. So it's a pretty ingenious way to sell your old equipment. So I actually won last night, so this is what I won. This is a 2000 Skidoo Summit 700. We're pretty excited, especially Austin. It's been a long time since we've had a sled. Now my husband Austin and myself and Corbin, we can start going ice fishing again, and I mean $35. Not a bad investment. So that's a fun new toy for us. Now I'm just going to go inside, eat some lunch, and then we'll head back out delivering. Okay, so it's 3 o'clock and we're getting back out there, and let's see what we get for deliveries. So I'm picking up an order here at a restaurant called the Boiler Room, and I just want to show this place to you guys because this is something in my city that I think it's really cool they did. So this property, we're sitting right on the waterfront overlooking the International Bridge to the United States. It used to be an old paper mill. It has beautiful old brick buildings, and when the mill closed, this property kind of stayed vacant for a really long time. And then developer bought it and now has turned it into this really cool little area where it has like the mill, which is kind of like a banquet room, and then it has the boiler room, which is the steakhouse. It has a skating rink, and it has our train station where the Agawa train leaves out of, a new one. And it's just a really cool area. Let me show you guys. So here's the boiler room right here. This is the mill. Over here is the skating rink. That building, I'm not sure what they're doing with that building. It might just still be part of the old paper mill. And then here is our new train station for where the Agawa tour train leaves out of. I love that they didn't tear down all these beautiful old wreck buildings. Okay, now on to the delivery. Okay, so I'm back home from delivering. So let's tally up how much I made today. So you can see here with Skip the Dishes, I made about $87. And then with Instacart, I made $34. So altogether, that's about a little over $120. I'm going to subtract 10 for gas, so I made $110 today. I worked for 5.5 hours. So $110 for 5.5 hours, that equates to about $20 an hour. So that's how I pay for my van travels. I work. If I want to travel, I gotta pay for it. Obviously, I'm not going to rely on a YouTube channel to make money for me. I want to be able to fund my own travels. I mean, it would be great someday if the channel took off, but pretty much every penny I would ever get from YouTube or any of this would go towards my retirement savings so that my husband can retire from work earlier. But otherwise, I'm fine with the setup I have now. If I want to take off for a month or two, I just make sure I have that money saved in the account so that there's no gap in our income, and I still get to go out and have fun. So we leave on the trip down to Arizona area in a few days here. So I hope you guys like and subscribe so you can stay tuned for all the fun that we're going to have down there. And in the meantime, I'll see you at the next adventure. Bye, guys.
Dream, journey, adventure.